All right. Government regulation and competition. Monopoly and oligopolies can sometimes have negative effects on our consumers and the economies as a whole. Markets dominated by only a few large firms tend to have higher prices and lower output than markets with many sellers. A firm with monopoly power can use predatory pricing. That's the practice of setting the market price below the cost to drive competitors out of business. Rockefeller was a master at this. Back in the day when he was refining oil, right? The cost, out of his pocket cost to refine a barrel of oil, let's just say was $5. So he was charging $8, $9 a barrel to refine it. Somebody else would open up a refinery and charge $7. He would start charging like $2 a barrel below his cost until that company went out of business. Then he would take it over. And then he would start charging $10 a barrel to process it, right? So that's predatory pricing. Another way firms try to reduce competition is by buying out their competitors. During the 70s and 80s, Congress passed laws leading to the deregulation, lightening the restrictions of some industries. Since the late 1800s, the United States has had antitrust laws to prevent companies from reducing competition. It's the job of the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice's Antitrust Division to enforce these laws. The government will try to prevent mergers that might reduce competition and lead to higher prices. AT&T and T-Mobile, two of the biggest cell phone usage providers, have been trying to merge for years, and the government hasn't let them. They're afraid that they would have too big of a market share. They can control the prices. A merger is when two or more companies join to form a single firm. So markets experiencing deregulation included airline, electricities, banking, railroad, natural gas, television. When it's successful, when deregulation is successful, it increases competition and leads to lower prices for consumers. However, it may cause hardship for employees of companies driven out of business by increased competition. Anyone heard of TWA? Trans World Airlines? How about Pan Am? How about Northwest Airlines? All of these airlines are out of business because when the government passed deregulation of the airline industries, those companies were bloated and soft. They couldn't keep up with newer, more efficient airlines, specifically the one based in Texas. What's the airline based in Texas? It's one of the biggest airlines in North America. Southwest. Southwest was nothing. They were just a little commuter airline for if you had to get somewhere in Texas. But when deregulation happened, they started to expand and they were much more efficient than everybody else, and they knocked out a ton of other airlines. Antitrust laws strengthens government control over a market. Deregulation loses government control. But both policies, both things have the same purpose. They want to promote competition. So whether you have government regulation or deregulation, theoretically, ideally, they're trying to achieve the same goal, and that is competition among the suppliers. Yep, that's it. See, nice and easy. We're going to have a quiz, a reading quiz over sections 4.1 to 4.4. Remember, you can use your Cornell notes. And we'll have a vocab quiz over the words from 4.1 to 4.4.